A better bath awaits.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Do you love winning? This February, head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee and fall head over heels with the Love It or Leave It $400,000 game show. Thursday nights, you could play the Love It or Leave It game show, where you can love your prize or leave it for another. Play with your club card to earn drawing entries. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. It's time for Love It or Leave It. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaceBig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
WTMJ Now.
Yes, the live stream is up. People are asking. Yes, it's up. Hey to all the folks watching the live stream. I'm glad that you're tuned in that way. Also got all those folks who are just listening on the good old radio. They're driving around town on this Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I didn't get you anything. I told the story about my wife saying no gifts and then buying me a gift. It's like, what's that about? And then Matzik was taking me to task. There's no such thing as no gifts on Valentine's Day. But anyway, and we're going to do some Valentine's Day stuff throughout the show. I told you I'd give you some quotes from some of the principal characters in the legislative decision yesterday. To pass the governor's maps. And I've issued a challenge to the governor's office, Governor Tony Evers, Democrat, state of Wisconsin. Hotline's open for you. I've got about 2 hours and 40 minutes left. Is this on? Yes. Let's get you on the show. All right. From the State Senate, Devin LeMahieu. Given the circumstance, the legislature is faced with two choices. Either pass the governor's maps as is, or allow the liberal majority of the Wisconsin Supreme Court to gerrymander the state at the very last minute without public input. One quick comment on that. Yeah, I agree. Gerrymander. Yes, absolutely. But when Republicans have power, they do the same thing. Let's not pretend that that doesn't happen. There seems to be this weird fake existence where only the other side cheats. It's like, what world are you living in? So that's from Devin LeMahieu. Now, Governor Tony Evers said these very words. If my maps are approved by the legislature, of course I'd sign them. Of course I'd sign them. We'll find out. State Senator Chris Larson, Democrat of Milwaukee. I think that anybody observing what has been happening in his body knows exactly what is happening. There are tricks up your sleeves, and this is headed toward litigation. Well, Congressman Mark Pocan has basically made that claim. Most people that have any legal expertise said it's nonsense, but he was asked about it. And I don't think that's a realistic thing. Robin Voss said it wasn't going to happen. Let's go to the phone lines, and you're welcome to join us, 855-616-1620, sort of a special 9 o'clock hour today because Andy Schwartz is on assignment. Let's go to Maggie, who's calling from the great city of Milwaukee. Hi, Maggie.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I understand your perspective, and I respect it.
Thanks.
It is hopeful, but I think perhaps a bit naive, if I may, and I don't mean that.
No problem, Maggie.
Criticism at all.
Tell me why you think that.
How did we get here? And we got here because Republicans, when they had control, refused to put forward fair maps. And that's why we're here. Republicans today adopted that map, number one, to protect Robin Voss. Number two, it is the least worst result for them. It is not an attempt at being fair and reasonable people. It's not an attempt to have maps that allow Wisconsin voters to express what we are, which is purple, right? We've got all kinds of people that think all different kinds of things across the state. And so I think it's a little bit Pollyannish to put this now on the governor as if, oh, of course you'd sign these maps. Perhaps he will, and I would personally encourage him to do so to move the state forward. But acting like this is some sort of olive branch from Republicans in the state legislature is simply not true.
No, it's not an olive branch. And you made the point at the beginning of your comments. This is a acknowledgement that's the best they can do. And I think that acknowledgement is smart politically. They understand what might happen with court-ordered maps, and it would look a lot bleaker for Republicans. It's a smart political play, and I don't buy into the fact that this is going to be challenged at a higher court. Beyond the Supreme Court, I don't think so. And I'll take Robin Vos, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, and other Republican leaders on their word that this is not some sort of a trickeration, as one of our presidents used to say. It's a positive step. It's a positive step. Baby steps, as they say.
It's really sad to me that all of this had to happen as prequel, right? That we had to have this sort of litigation, that we had to listen to Voss and others accuse Justice Protasewicz of impeachable conduct, right? That we have to politicize what should be a nonpartisan head of the Wisconsin Election Commission simply to end up with maps that Republicans are now willing to accept as fair. To me, it's a bit of an echo of what's going on in Washington right now with the immigration crisis. There's a deal on the table that Democrats are willing to sign off on, right? That was literally the wish list of Republicans for so very long. And because of the politics of the moment, because Donald Trump says, I want to campaign on immigration, we won't have a solution today. Again, I think prequel is always important to remember. I really appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, absolutely, Maggie. Thanks for taking the time to listen as well. We got to take a break here. Andrew, you're next up. What do you think about what Maggie just said? I mean, there's a smart listener there, smart fan of the show. I think this is an opportunity. And she's exactly right about Washington, D.C. I've been retweeting, reposting a lot of the things that my Republican friends in Washington, D.C. said like 2 weeks ago, even longer than that, month, 6 months, about the border and Ukraine. And all of a sudden, they've miraculously, or maybe not miraculously, they've decided that the opposite is true, and they're going to wait. Crisis doesn't necessarily, the word crisis doesn't necessarily mean waiting. It means immediate action required. And for a lot of Republicans in Congress, apparently when the DJT hotline rings, they must answer and they must listen. Andrew, you're up next. Got a lot of texts as well. The legislature in Wisconsin yesterday passing the governor's maps. We've offered airtime for the governor of Wisconsin. He's been on the show many times before. Hotline ready and open for you. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, same invitation. Devin LeMahieu. Let's see if they take us up on it. Quick break. WTMJ.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi. QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
It's WTMJ Now.
Is this an important first step in getting fair maps in Wisconsin? Well, I guess fair will be determined by all the parties and their interests, Democrats, Republicans, in the state of Wisconsin. The legislature did their job yesterday, and Governor Evers has indicated previously in the media that he would sign it if they passed it. And we've offered time to the governor, Governor Tony Evers, a busy schedule on Valentine's Day, I'm sure, handing out chocolates or flowers somewhere. Go back to the phone lines. You can join us, 855-616-1620. Andrew from Waukesha. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
And I do want to give credit to the previous caller. She hit the nail on the head. The only real gerrymander in the previous maps was the gerrymander to keep Robin Vos in power. He said time and time again he was against term limits, even though the majority of Republicans supported. Longest-serving Assembly Speaker. But here's the thing. If you get Evers on the phone, ask him this question. What's more important, fair maps, contiguous districts, or representation? Because the real problem is for 138 years in this state, we have not increased the number of reps in Madison. It's currently about 60,000 people per assembly district. On average, it's been 24,000. My legislative aide represents me more than my actual assemblymen because they're the one that I talk to and interact with the most.
That's a good point.
So why doesn't the legislature and the governor do a bipartisan act, a constitutional amendment? Because this is a constitutional issue. The Constitution of Wisconsin limits the amount of districts to 100. Increase that number. Figure out whatever amount of districts to get back to that 24,000 and account for any kind of future growth. Increase that number. Has to go through two successive sessions. Then it goes to the voters. Let's ask the voters instead of having this political debates, because quite frankly, I think the Dems are just going to gerrymander their own maps. If Evers is smart politically, he will not sign this bill. He'll let the court implement a more gerrymandered liberal map. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Once they, get so, ask Evers that question. Is more representation more important to you and the citizens versus this squabble over contiguous districts?
All right, love it, Andrew. Thanks for the passion and thanks for the question. If he calls the hotline, Governor Evers, open invitation, I will certainly ask him that. Let's go to Neenah, Wisconsin. Mary joins us. Good morning, Mary. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hi. I just wanted to go back to the woman who was talking
Maggie?
about the Republicans in Washington not voting for I agree with what she said about signing this bill and getting something done in Madison. But in Washington, she said the Republicans are against the bill with illegal immigrants coming in with connected to Ukraine and the Israel bill, the funding. But the reason they're not signing it is because it's still allowed 5,000 illegals in every single day. That cannot be part of that bill. And,
Mary,
so
let me ask you this question, Mary. There's a really common, well-known saying about politics and life. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. If we hold out ideal, will we ever get anything passed? Because what one person's perfect is another person's nightmare. So how can Washington, D.C., it's essentially a system set up for compromise. And if one side or the other side thinks that they can only do this, only approve legislation when they 100% agree with it, how can we ever get anything done?
Well, aren't they voting separately on the funding bill?
Well, right now they're not voting on anything.
Immigration.
We're not voting on anything because the speaker. Thanks for the call, Mary. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has said he won't allow votes, even separate. Here's the primer on Congress. They have essentially said, they being Republicans, they don't want to do anything, any legislation that the current president, current incumbent of the White House, Oval Office, could use as a possible positive in his campaign for re-election. So they are saying, again, Republicans are saying, we're not going to do anything this year, other than stuff they absolutely have to do, like a budget fix. I think the continuing resolution ends in March. They have to do that. Otherwise, everything shuts down. Other than that, they're essentially taking the year off because they're now saying, correct me if I'm wrong, we're not going to do things that make this current president look better, even though some of our own members have called some of these issues in terms of crisis. That seems disingenuous to me. It seems counter to what your actual job is, which is the people's work. I got a lot of texts on this. I got to take another break here. I want to get to some of those texts. And the callers are welcome, 855-616-1620. It's a great way to tee up politics 2024. It starts with where your district is, who your representative is. And to Andrew's point, I understand his point, less people in a district, more representation, but you're essentially arguing, Andrew, for more governments. I'm not a fan of that. How about the 50 or 60,000 people that each person represents? How about they just do a better job? Quick break.
More of WTMJ now after this.
You've heard real James Imaging Systems customers here on the radio for years talking about their trusted document imaging partnership with James Imaging Systems. Brookfield Buick GMC controller Jay Doyle.
I do love working with James Imaging. They do a great job. They're like it's one of your workers. They want to help.
Gabe Colasari, IT manager at RJ Schenner, described his document imaging partnership with James Imaging Systems this way.
They're the imaging professionals. That's something that we don't have to worry about. So you want that trusted partnership.
And James Imaging Systems customer Jason Rose, President, CEO with AccuRite Tax and Financial Services, summed up his trusted document imaging partnership with James.
Happy clients, happy workers, happy me.
Be happy. Start your trusted document imaging partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. With the Brewers Group Outing, you can trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. Featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and much more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event simple, as they'll be your personal concierge while booking your outing. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
WTMJ now.
I had some fun with Valentine's Day in politics this morning on the X, Twitter as it's more commonly known. I'm still calling it Twitter. Somebody was arguing with me about this last week. It's X. You know what? I know it is Twitter. I signed up for Twitter. Just because Elon Musk wants to change it, it's proof. Everybody thinks billionaires are smart. No, they don't have to be smart. They have to be lucky. They may have some good ideas. They're not necessarily brilliant people. You can argue with me about Elon if you want to, but I wouldn't. So my show poll today, you can find it on the Twitter platform. And if you don't have the Twitter, which is a good life choice, you can certainly weigh in on the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. What political figure would you give a Valentine's Day gift to? And I just picked the obvious ones for us here in Wisconsin. President Joe Biden, Citizen Donald Trump, Governor Tony Evers. Guess who's winning? I'll wait. President Joe Biden. Interesting. 30%. Oh, he just went down to 29. Second place is Governor Tony Evers. Democrats doing well in the poll. I have a lot of other suggestions. I got to vote. How about that? I'm not a politician, but thank you for that. Mike Gallagher for showing independent, honest leadership. None of those jokers. I actually got 2 votes. 2 votes on the poll, Charlie. How about that for yours truly? Nikki Haley gets some love. These 3 don't deserve a thing. Nikki Haley with another one. RFK Jr. So if you have a chance and you want to have fun, who gets your political Valentine on this day? So I promised I would read some of the texts. Better job, do any job, great pay, privileged health care, do no work, fame. That's a great job. Why would they change? Well, that's the problem. When the legislators make the rules for the body they serve in, do you really expect to see much change? And just as an aside, I'm watching one of the monitors, and Speaker Mike Johnson is doing one of his pressers. It's interesting. He likes to hold pressers, but he likes to not answer questions. And he's got one of those grins, and I'm a nonviolent person, that you want to smack off his face. And I'm a nonviolent person saying that. Wipe the grin off your face and do your damn job. My God. Mike from Illinois, he's going to lighten our load. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve. Happy Valentine's Day, brother.
And to you.
Thank you, brother. Beautiful day, too.
Awesome. It's a great day. Happy Valentine's Day for everyone out in radio land.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as I told Charlie, I don't have one that's a current politician, but if I had to give a Valentine to any politician at all, it'd be George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Obviously, this is their month as well. Mm-hmm. They just did so much for our country. Probably the 2 most important presidents ever, and they deserve it.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Mike, and happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. I mean, come on. You got people walking around saying they're the best president ever. Let history decide that. You don't get to decide. I'm pretty sure George Washington and Abraham Lincoln didn't walk around saying they're the best president ever. Steve, I have come to read, this is from the text line, and you can join us, 855-616-1620. Steve, I have come to realize that the definition of the word fair has been corrupted. Not fair means I didn't get what I wanted, and I'm going to do my best to make someone miserable because of it. Fair means I got what I wanted, now I can make someone miserable. Yeah. Here's the fallacy of fair maps. The party that wrestles control, the party that has control, they think it's fair. The other party doesn't think that. And history has shown us, depending on what state you want to talk about, that when one party has dominance, they essentially make it almost impossible for the other side to get any traction. Now, whether this current Evers proposal of maps will do that, I don't know. Because ultimately, we decide. And when we have an election, that's where you get your say. And, you know, one of the callers earlier, Maggie, accused me of being naive. Well, maybe it's just being optimistic. Maybe my hope is that the legislature and any elected official would actually at some point stop playing partisan politics. I understand that's how you identify yourself, but that's really not helping any of us. We have legislators now who don't return messages or calls to their constituents. They ignore them, especially when they're critical. Same thing happens in Washington, D.C. If you're not of my same opinion, this happens all the time with senators, I'm not going to bother with you. I learned more as an elected official from talking to people that disagree with me than I ever got from people that agreed with me. Just the reality. That's why I'm very critical of people who pretend to be people of faith and then ignore all of the principles or tenets of their faith once they get out of the church that they worship in. Like, where did that message go? From the text line, please, it just flipped, so I got to go back to where that was. Please stop Please stop, Democrat lady. Your Democrats did the same thing with Mattress, Wisconsin when they were in power. Steve, you just said earlier, both sides do this. It's the workings of politics which to get your side the win rather than what's necessarily best for the people. We'll soon find out what these maps do. We can all hope they are fair. Yeah, I'd rather look at it in an optimistic fashion. One of my mission statements, especially on the new show starting next week, Political Power Hour, 9 to 10, WTMJ, is to listen to people that are experts on the things that matter. Everyone has opinions. Not everyone's opinion deserves airtime. Not everyone's opinion deserves serious consideration. On the other side of this, 414, you are nuts. We don't need 5,000 people a day coming into our country. Haven't we had enough damage done to our country? Where's your head? I know where it is. Do you? It's a number. It's a starting point. If you say it's a crisis, taking steps to eliminate that crisis, my word, baby steps maybe, is important. There's no such thing as perfect legislation. When's the last time anyone got a 435 to nothing vote or 100 to nothing? Doesn't happen. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talking text line, calls and texts. Talking about politics this hour. Annie Schwartz is on assignment. We'll take a break here. Still time to jump in. We're going to shift gears at 10 o'clock hour. Got some fun stuff. What's your definition of meat? Totally random. Governor Ron DeSantis, of all people in Florida, has a definition of meat that he's going to enforce. That's a fascinating topic that I guarantee you no one else is talking about in this state. All right, we'll take a quick break here. You're listening, of course, to the third to last edition of WTMJ Now.
More of WTMJ Now after this.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Don't forget your sweetheart. There's still time to enjoy a great dinner for under $10 at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft, locally, family-owned for over 46 years. The all-you-can-eat cod, perch, shrimp, or poor man's lobster dinner is just $9.99. $9.99. And desserts are buy one, get one free. I love the desserts, even on Valentine's Day. So order your favorite steak, pasta, a fresh salad, a cool big burger, all super affordable, and you can sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, an ice-cold brew, or your favorite glass of wine. Now that is a perfect Valentine's Day dinner. Where would you be without your sweetie? Go out for dinner to the Mine Shaft for under $10. It's in beautiful downtown Hartford, lots of seating and close parking, the most affordable Valentine's Day dinner destination in the area. Tables are still open for your Valentine's Day dinner for under $10. It's the Mine Shaft.
As an independent tire and service center, our loyalty is to you, not the manufacturer.
It's the tire manufacturer's goal to design a superior tire.
But it's our job to ensure the right tires are properly installed on your vehicle.
A service our family has been independently providing for the past 2 generations. So make no mistake about it, our loyalty is to you.
And the dozens of tire brands we carry, like Goodyear, General, and Pirelli,
or Continental, Kelly, and Dunlop, well, that's for you too.
Because we won't know what type of tire you need until you get here.
So instead, we carry them all.
Because we install them all.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair.
Which means you're 100% covered.
No questions asked.
I guess you could call it family tradition.
Be safe, buckle up, and hey.
Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. Your
due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service. Such a refreshing change. Richlands. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
It's WTMJ Now.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Valentine's Day actually had its origins in the ancient Roman fertility festival called, I think it's Lupercalia or Lupercalia. So have at it, folks. I'm going to do a thing in the next hour about there's actually an anti-Valentine's Day movement. It's like, wonder why things are so screwed up. Whatever day, whatever thing, whatever positive thing and message is out there. I mean, how can you be negative about Valentine's Day? You don't have to celebrate if you don't want to. It's a romantic, love-filled day it's supposed to be. I don't care that you and your significant other don't celebrate it. Who cares? But if you want to, go ahead and knock yourself out. Does there have to be an anti-everything? And the answer is yes, because that's what the country and the culture has decided. It's dumb, but that's what they decided. All right. He's never dumb, always exciting. Bob from Waukesha. Welcome, Bob.
Good morning, Steve. Happy Valentine's Day and happy Ash Wednesday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I received my ashes earlier, and I think I've overdosed on the ashes. They must have known my background.
They hit it a little hard, Bob.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Give Bob a little extra.
Deserve it. I deserve it. I would extend a safe, healthy, and a happy Valentine's Day to Meghan McCain, particularly in light of all the abuse and disrespect that she took, like many, from President number 45.
Yeah, that's a good one. I actually hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I would put Liz Cheney in that same category, just trying to do the right thing.
Amen.
And gets abused. Amen. Thank you for the call, Bob, calling from Waukesha. And yeah, for those who celebrate, Ash Wednesday is today. Start of Lent. Now, I will tell you that, and I also tweeted this out this morning, I would much rather, I know this will make some of my Catholic friends, I'm a Catholic, raised Catholic, practicing Catholic. It makes some of my friends mad, but I'm still going to say it. We are so wrapped up, and this is just the way that our culture is, and faith is not, any different, how we celebrate faith. So wrapped up in the giving stuff up thing, we've sort of almost commercialized that. Like, oh, I'm giving up, booze, or I'm giving up chocolate. How about just doing something positive for people? Something positive. You can give up something if you want to. You don't have to publicize it. Do it if you want. But instead of just letting it sit there, do something positive for somebody. I don't care what it is. Buy a gift card at a restaurant and hand it off to somebody that needs a little help. Buy somebody a cup of coffee at a local coffee shop. We got 1 million of them. Whatever that is, a helping hand. It's not that difficult. But we want to make this pronouncement that you're giving. Who cares? That's a personal thing. At least it should be. You don't have to celebrate it to all the rest of us. I understand it's part of what Lent is. I get it. Fasting, sure. If you want to, we could all eat less. Absolutely. But instead of this celebration of the culture of fish fries and old fashions, which seems to have taken over Lent in a rather weird, misdirected way, do something positive for somebody. I got one more break, Charlie. Yes? One more break? Yes. We'll take a break here. Still a chance to weigh in, and we're going to shift gears completely on the program, the third to last edition of WTMJ Now. More after this.
WTMJ Now.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, our advisors will build a financial plan that's custom tailored for you. It will include your investments, insurance, estate plan, taxes, and other personalized elements. Let Creative Planning show you a richer way to wealth. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep. Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Travel deliciously to Milwaukee, Chicago, or around the world. This is Teresa with Milwaukee Food and City Tours. Listen this Saturday at noon to hear about our next adventure, or join a tour at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone, Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations, brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. WTMJ Now.
Couple minutes before the top of the hour news. Thanks for all the texts, by the way. I can't possibly read them all. 855-616-1620. Thanks for all the kind words about the new show next week. I think it's the fourth iteration of my life at WTMJ. Scaffidi and Billstead, Steve Scaffidi Show, WTMJ Now, which is kind of what this is, with some tweaks and turns along the way, and then Political Power Hour. So my fourth iteration, probably the final iteration, right? And I'm looking forward to. For those who think that I'm mad about this, it's the exact opposite. One of the things I was just talking to one of our teammates in the break. It is an opportunity to do something that I really want to do, which is focus our political conversation not in the insane world of partisan politics. You know how I feel about that. This market in particular, Milwaukee and southeastern Wisconsin, has been infected by, and trust me, I know people made a lot of money doing it. Constant noise, constant screaming on a microphone by mainly old white men about politics in the most twisted fashion, which has frankly polluted our minds on this stuff. And I think, and again, this is my particular viewpoint on what's going to happen. I think November is going to be a message is going to be sent. We'll see what the message is. Are we going to go back or are we going to go forward? That's my take on it. And like anybody who makes predictions, I could be completely wrong, but I've been pretty close on a lot of my most recent predictions about politics. And I try to be a keen observer of not party talking points. There's all kinds of venues where you can find that stuff. Frankly, I think it's a waste of your time. You are smarter than that. And I'll never understand why people are entertained listening to 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever of someone just saying things they agree with. How is that interesting? What kind of world do you live in where everyone agrees with you all the time? Seems silly, specious, dumb, uninforming, intellectually lazy. But here we are. So my attempt with the Political Power Hour will be to change that dynamic. You already see it on Fridays with Bill McCoshen and Joseph Pecky. I don't just say it. I know, talking to people around the state, other members of the media, that hour is looked upon as a really significant opportunity to look at politics in a different way. We have two very partisan individuals, Joe Zepecki on the left, Bill McCoshen on the right, who are both very smart men. We're going to take that same concept and weave it through the rest of the week. Legal scholars, journalists, public safety professionals, people who write about politics, the Christian Snyders, the Dan Schaefers, the James Wigdersons, and others. Quick tease for my podcast. If you're a fan of CNN and all the things that are happening in Congress, my friend Manu Raju, who actually has a Wisconsin connection, joined me for the podcast. It's now published on WTMJ or .com or wherever you get your podcasts. Amazing conversation. It's about 20 minutes long. And he highlights the fact that this is an amazing time in the halls of Congress. And he gets to cover that every day as their chief congressional correspondent. So that's up now on our website and wherever you get your podcasts.
You can also text RNC to listen to it.
There you go. Producer Charlie makes it easy. RNC takes you right to the link. You can listen to it. Give it a listen. It's 20 minutes long. We have done some amazing podcasts over the last month and a half since I took it over. And if you want to hear about other things other than politics, not always, but most of the time, our Scaffidi podcast always available as well on our website. All right, we'll take a break here. I'm going to shift gears away from politics a little bit in the 10 o'clock hour. The news is next.
More of WTMJ now after this.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
The largest industrial trade show in Wisconsin for engineers, facility managers, and building grounds and maintenance professionals is the PFMA Plant Engineering and Maintenance Expo. Free seminars, product and service demos, and the latest innovations all under one roof.
Skip the show day lines and go to pfmainc.com for fast and free pre-registration. The PFMA Expo, free with free parking. February 21st and 22nd at a new location, Washington County Fair Park in West Bend.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning, 10:01. We have 37 degrees, sunny today with late clouds in the air, clouds later this afternoon and a high today of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. New Berlin police have made an arrest in the death of a 77-year-old man whose body was found inside a home in Glen Park Court Monday night, according to TMJ4 News. Officers were called for a welfare check after reports of a partially clothed woman running through the backyards of homes along Prairie View Road in Cedarbrook Monday afternoon. Eventually, she was found hiding in the garage of a home and taken to the hospital for evaluation. The connection between the deceased and the 42-year-old woman, called a person of interest by police, is not clear. The family of a missing teen is now working to bring him home.
Prayer and share is what I've been saying. Just pray and share.
That's how Vance Kramer wants people to help find his missing 16-year-old son, Isaiah. Kramer tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
The more we can get this out into the public, the more we can make people aware of this, the better the chance of finding him.
The family offering a $2,000 reward for information that helps find Isaiah. Kramer says he's been overwhelmed by the response.
That gives us hope.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
For the first time in 150 years, the House has impeached a cabinet member. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, impeached by the House by one vote. ABC's Selena Wang says some were skeptical as to whether Mayorkas' actions rose to the level of an impeachable offense.
Even some of Johnson's fellow Republicans acknowledge the charges against Mayorkas do not rise to high crimes or misdemeanors, and the Homeland Security Secretary even had a role in negotiating a bipartisan border security bill that included policies Republicans themselves demanded. But Donald Trump derailed that deal, claiming it would give Biden a political win.
House Speaker Mike Johnson saying it was a top priority for his chamber because of Mayorkas' handling of the migrant influx at the southern border. Judge overseeing the New York State civil fraud trial of the Trump Organization, Donald Trump and his 2 adult sons will issue his verdict on damages this week. NBC News reports the decision will come from Judge Arthur Engar on Friday. Engaron's already ruled the company and the Trumps engaged in fraud. The coming verdict will be about intent and damages. With the election around the corner, the DMV wants to make sure everyone has the information needed to get an official ID to use at the polls.
There are lists of forms one needs to bring to the DMV to get their ID, such as a birth certificate, proof of identity, and Wisconsin residency. Once you have these, you need to head to your nearest DMV location. If you don't have these forms readily available, the DMV offers a process that will get you a receipt that is valid for voting while you're getting these documents together. The DMV has a toll-free hotline, too, at 844-588-1069 to answer any further questions you might have, or you can head to their website. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down just 10 points, 38,262. NASDAQ up 55. S&P 500 is up 13. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Losing sleep lately? The job, the house, the headlines, or investments? How about the feeling your investment partner isn't a partner at all? They might be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's easy. Head to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button. We work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
I'm Randy Miller.
No, you're not. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling.
I'm DJ.
Someday you might be the owner of All Right.
Like you and Daddy?
You'll have to learn that our family business is about more than just our family.
Do it right, call All Right.
Yes, but doing things right also means giving back.
When you want it all right, you call All Right. All Right, so many miles away.
Hey, if you're sick and tired of those achy joints and dread the idea of surgery, it is time to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The state of healthcare is always evolving. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Try regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. It's transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, and drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Talking about knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain from arthritis or injury. Don't let the pain keep you from living your best life. Call QC Kinetics. Their advanced and state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. It's a revolutionary approach that will help you achieve long-term relief with no downtime. So make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, your independence. Get out, walk, run, and play and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. Giannis Antetokounmpo just missed a triple-double, and the Bucks were blasted by the Heat 123-97 at Fiserv Forum. Antetokounmpo had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Damian Lillard added 16 points for the Bucks, who finished 2-2 on their 4-game homestand. The Bucks visit Memphis tomorrow in their final game before the All-Star break. Fourth-ranked Marquette extended its winning streak to 8 in a row with the 78-72 victory over Butler in Indianapolis. And Wisconsin put an end to its 4-game losing streak with a 62-54 win over Ohio State at the Kohl Center. Stephen Crowell posted 16 points, 10 rebounds to lead the 21st-ranked Badgers, who improved to 17-8 on the season, 9-5 in Big Ten play. UW visits Iowa on Saturday. And the Brewers will hold their first workout with pitchers and catchers tomorrow in Phoenix. First full squad workout will be on Tuesday. Brewers will then begin spring training play February 24th against the Padres in Peoria. Taking a look at the roads now with your Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic, and no major delays to report right now. Pretty smooth sailing this morning. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo. A typical 10-minute drive. The Zoo into downtown about 5. And 43 southbound from Brown Deer Road to the Markhead Interchange. About a 13-minute drive this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today with some clouds rolling in later today. High 45, maybe a rain and snow mix tonight. It's going to be after midnight, an overnight low 34. The rain and snow early tomorrow morning and then a high 38 in the afternoon. Friday, mostly cloudy, some flurries, a high 31. Saturday, partly cloudy with breezy conditions. It'll be chilly with a high 32, and the sunshine returns on Sunday with a high of 39. Madison at 35, Green Bay 32, Milwaukee 37 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, it's WTMJ Now. News, opinions, Wisconsin. Everything you need to know in the Badger State and beyond. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
Thank you, big voice guy. Yes. Third and final edition of WTMJ Now, Political Power Hour starting Monday. So because of that, you'll see me take a turn to politics, a sharp turn to exclusive political content. I mean, we'll still deviate in some fashion or form, but it's going to be definitely looking at a very important year in politics in this country. And so to have some fun with that, most of my show polls this week will have a political bent as well, even a Valentine's Day poll. So this is a day typically wrapped around romance and gift giving. What political figure would you give a Valentine's Day gift to? Right now, very close race. Actually, all three of the bigs. President Joe Biden, citizen Donald Trump, Governor Tony Evers running neck and neck in the show poll. If you're not on the Twitter, you can certainly cast your vote on the WTMJ Talking text line, 855-616-1620. So I'm a positive person, positive thinking, positive outlook on life. Not always. I mean, we all get down. You know, there are things that are troubling and upsetting, and certainly we've had examples of those over and over again in our country's history. But when you think about Valentine's Day, for me, it's a hard one to sort of cast aspersions on, right? But apparently there's an anti-Valentine's Day movement that's growing stronger. And this may or may not be surprising to you, but young Americans, young teens are leading the effort. And I'm reading a piece in the Washington Post, and it starts like that. Let's be honest. And I don't agree with this premise, but I'll read it to you. Valentine's Day has more potential to hurt, harm, terrorize, and traumatize people than anything Halloween serves up. From the card and carnation campaigns that decimate kids' self-esteem in classrooms, can you be more overstated? To the endless stream of pop-up ads online, say I love you with chicken, ? The start of February is triggering for anyone who isn't feeling it. Dark hearts have always abounded. I got to know one of them at an anti-Valentine's Day party before I married him. Interesting way to put that. But the growing crowd of nopes is getting more attention, especially from marketers. So they talked to a woman, Barbara Bickert. She's a marketing professor, who says, this is a direct quote, there are more anti-Valentine's messages like nails with black, dark daggers. Apparently what they do is they have their nails done, they put like nope or a no sign on their nails. There's always been snarky T-shirts and, holiday cards and all that stuff. But they're pushing the aggressively anti-Valentine's Day messaging. Searches for that kind of material increased by 14% year to year, this year to last year. Or I should say, this year to last year. Anti-Valentine's Day T-shirts, 34% more popular this year than they were last year. And there's a common slogan that's going around. Love is in the air, try not to breathe. A couple other ones, stay away, Cupid. Fries before guys. Big fan of fries, but what do you think of that kind of messaging? I get it's out there. It's the counterculture argument to everything, right? Whatever somebody is just celebrating, There's got to be a group that says, oh, wait, hold on a second. You're not realizing that there's people out there that aren't participating in this. You're not sharing the joy with those folks. How much is an understanding that it's a fun day? You know, schools, for the most part, not all of them, got rid of the tradition that I grew up with where you gave everybody Valentine's Day cards. And, yeah, sometimes feelings were hurt. Whose feelings? Raise your hand if your feelings weren't hurt at some point in your life and maybe you didn't learn a lesson from it. Maybe your team didn't win. Maybe you got popped for lipping off to somebody and you deserved it. Maybe somebody skipped you in their Valentine's Day card rotation. Maybe you're a bully and didn't realize it. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line. I don't want to play in that arena. What's the point of it? But you can be sad if you want to. Sad is actually a feeling that you should probably embrace more often than not. Because there's far too many pie-in-the-sky folks who walk around with a you-know-what grin on their face. That frankly seems so detached from reality that they make dumb decisions and say dumb things over and over again. Yes, I'm talking about you politicians. And, you know, the origins of Valentine's Day. There's a Christian origin. There's a Roman origin. Like anything, it's convoluted. It's nuanced. Here's my question. Any of you embrace this anti-Valentine's Day thing? I'd love to hear from you. I understand it may be tough to call. Whatever. 855-616-1620. If you're an anti-Valentine's Day person, share with me on the text line or phones, 855-616-1620, why that is. There's $14.2 billion spent on Valentine's Day for your partners or significant others, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, pals. 57% of you buy candy. $6.4 billion spent on jewelry. $2.6 billion spent on flowers. Quick tip, buy the flowers tomorrow. Much cheaper. They're going to last just as long. Buy them tomorrow. You'll save probably 50%. They'll still be Valentine-y. Say, hey, I'm getting you flowers tomorrow. You don't have to explain any more than that. 855-616-1620. Anti-Valentine's Day. Apparently there's a bah humbug for one of the days that celebrates romance and love. Crazy. Quick break.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hi there. I was calling to report a traffic accident for your traffic reporter, Debbie Lazaga.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at thehallmazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie. It's Michael. Eastbound 894, and there's the fender bender, and these guys are blocking the right lane.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin. Every time I walk down my stairs, going to my basement, my landing area, it's kind of a basement that's half sort of original construction and half redone into a bedroom and a Packers shrine. If you've never been to my house, awesome. But they changed my grungy old linoleum into this beautiful wood plank look flooring made for basements. That's their design team. They can help you with all of your flooring and remodeling needs. They do a whole lot more than floors. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, just go to my social media at WTMJ Steve. You can see all of that little video I made for you and for Adair Floors and Remodeling. Home or business, family owned and operated. I think 65 years. Pretty cool. Right in Franklin, South 27th Street. That's the border between Oak Creek and Franklin. Stop in. Just drop by. It's on the west side. Big field across the street in Oak Creek and next to just north of the Northwestern Mutual Campus. Tell them Scaffidi sent you. Or visit them online. It's a great first step. Visit them online at adairfloors.com.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderland of vehicles. An entire convention center filled with the things you love to drive. It's the Milwaukee Auto Show at the Baird Center downtown, February 24th through March 3rd. Immerse yourself in the latest new cars, new trucks, SUVs, luxury vehicles, classics, and this year, we even have an indoor electric vehicle ride course. It's a wonderland of vehicles. Everything all in one place, all in a non-selling environment. It's a great place to comparison shop. The Milwaukee Auto Show. Save big on tickets. Go to autoshowmilwaukee.com.
So it's about time you spruced up your home.
Nothing major. You're not looking to spend a ton, but you are looking for something that'll give your quarters a little upgrade. You know there are a lot of things you can do with glass. Simply beveling your mirrors can do wonders. You can mill out your wood cabinet doors and replace the center with attractive glass inserts, or customize them with unique handcrafted artistry, or maybe a theme. You could even install a new glass shower door and add some real appeal to your bathroom. They're all pretty affordable home improvements, and Les's Glass Service has been helping homeowners like you for just about longer than anyone in town. You probably don't realize how affordably we can help you reach your home's full potential, but we do, and we can show you countless options. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
It's WTMJ Now.
Love stinks.
Does it? I don't think so. But apparently this anti-Valentine's Day crowd, some of these people actually, they stopped using like Instagram and their social media for like the period around Valentine's Day because it bothers them. It's like, come on. It's actually not a bad decision to make generally because social media will kill you, literally. From the... A lot of great texts. I welcome your calls as well, 855-616-1620. My wife says I need to be happier. I think I'm very happy today. I'm in a good mood. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. From the 920, my mom and dad sign Valentine's cards each year for over 25 years. They sign and date. They say that's just what they want to say to each other. That's a wonderful tradition. From the 920, kind of playing off my flowers thing, get Valentine's chocolates tomorrow, too, might be 50% off. Texter nails it. Charlie read their mind, play Love Stinks. It doesn't stink. From the 414, Steve, come on, people. You have to lighten up. What's the term, Charlie, producer, that I love to use that directly addresses that? What is the term, the phrase, 3 words?
Wait, repeat the question.
What is the phrase, 3-word phrase I use when as our texter says, people need to lighten up? They usually directed at me, but lighten up Francis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which will make an appearance in the, by the way, the final edition of If Steve Ruled the World. I just wrote it last night, which I feel bad right now because I gave Charlie like serious homework because there's a lot of clips in there. Have you looked at that thing?
Yeah, I didn't look at like this. It was long.
It is long.
I have to use Brandon's technique of using the intro twice. I might have to use it 3 times.
Yeah, it's an extensive one. Well, it's the last time ever, so I feel like I have to like bring you all the hits. There's everything that you've heard from Jack Nicholson, Lighten Up Francis, from Stripes, Deliverance, Benny Hill, Dierks Bentley. I mean, it's all there.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. And I added some new ones as well. So look forward. It's going to be about 11:20 on Friday, right after we talk to Libby Collins. My final visit with Libby Collins, too. Unless she wants to talk politics. You think Libby wants? I don't think so. From the text line. Oh, by the way, Steve, I did that once. Our anniversary was 2/21. The flower shop charged me the Valentine's Day rate for my flowers. Well, that's not fair. Come on. Let's see. Nikki Haley gets my Valentine. That's from Bob. I'd send her. That would be my choice for the political Valentine. I mean, her chances are slim to none, but God, I wish they were better. Yeah, I've talked about that extensively. From the 414, getting rid of Valentine's Day is another example of the woke trying to destroy everything. I lost my wife, and I still celebrate my love for her on Valentine's Day and every day and holiday. That is such a nice text. And exactly, that's how it's supposed to be. Whether someone's still with us or not, you still remember. I still remember my Uncle Sam, who passed away years ago. I still remember my grandmother years ago. I still remember how they talked, the things they said, how they acted. In the case of my grandmother, the food she cooked, I still every once in a while get that trigger. Oh, my God, it smells just like something my grandma made. Those are good things. It doesn't stop because someone's not there anymore. Apparently, a lot of people do the tradition of signing the cards. I have to think about that. Let's see. Valentine's Day is like a birthday. How can you get upset with that? Well, texter, there are people who hate they get mad if you'd say it's their birthday. It's like, why? It's like, I know people, I'm not going to say because some of them are family members, who refuse to acknowledge the years that they've lived on the planet. It's like, why is that a big deal to you? And in the case of the people I'm talking about, they actually look good for that age, not bad for that age. So why don't you just embrace it? From the 262, it's a free country. If you want to celebrate Valentine's Day, celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, I personally think it's a waste of time, but that's my choice. Just as your choice to celebrate, it is yours. Yeah, you don't have to celebrate it. And if you want to get off social media, get off social media. That's always a good idea, especially if your head's not in the right place. And, I know there's a lot of urban myths out there. There's not more suicides on Valentine's Day. That's a myth. So suicide's a problem every day, but they don't rise on Valentine's Day. From the 920, I take my wife to the card store, find a nice card, give it to her, let her read it, and then I tell her to put it back on the shelf. That's the ultimate consumer. Enjoy the card. Here's your moment. I'm not going to sign it. Put it back on the shelf. We're done. Here's my hot tip. Sometime in the year, you go to the your local dollar store, Dollar General, whatever these things are called. And here's the breaking news. They don't charge $1 at these places anymore. I found that out recently. And you stock up on birthday cards for family, Mother's Day, what else? Any holiday card you need to buy, anniversary cards. It's like 1/8 of the price of going to the regular store, drugstore, grocery store, and buying a card on the day. I mean, that's a good tip. And just stockpile them. They never go out of date. They're not time sensitive. So why wouldn't you do that? From the 920, chocolate is the answer. Is it? Could you get chocolate and be mad about it? I don't think so.
So I was thinking about this, and I think the only concern is I don't know how often Valentine's Day happens after the start of Lent, but what if you're giving up chocolate?
Yeah, that's the tricky one, right? Because everything's earlier this year because we have I think Easter is like in March, so it's early. So yeah, you don't necessarily. No, you could certainly find out because people are very broadcasting about what they're giving up, which, as I said earlier, I appreciate the fact that you want to, because there's two things you're supposed to do in Lent, right? Penance and the fasting, and actually three things, and sacrifice, right? That's kind of the things. Life gets a little tougher for you. You appreciate your faith more 6 weeks later. I get all that. But why don't we make a negative a positive? You can do that if you want to. Just don't make it the only thing you do. Do a positive. I gave you some examples earlier. A couple texts before we get to break. Took my daughter, this is from the 920. I took my daughter to Walgreens last night to get a Visa photo taken, and it was a crazy town there. There was even a chocolate man with hearts in his boxers for those without a man. I don't get that one. Somebody called me a cheapskate for giving you the dollar store. It's a great card. It's the same as the card you buy in a regular store. It's not like somebody just drew on construction paper and put $1 on it. What's the deal there? I'm being a thrifty consumer.
Yeah, no one's going to care that you're picking the premium Hallmark brand for your Christmas or Valentine's card. Yeah. And if you make it yourself, I mean, that's got a lot more heart in it.
If you do a good job. I mean,
okay.
if you literally drew stick figures, I love you.
Then you're being a cheapskate.
Right. Don't do that. No problem with Valentine's Day. Let's also remember it's Ash Wednesday. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Yes. So for those of you who are practicing and celebrating that, it's not really a celebration. It's an acknowledgement. Let's see. I always enjoy, this is from the 414, and then we're going to go to break. I always enjoyed Valentine's Day. My wife and I started dating on Valentine's Day 21 years ago, and then 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, she decided to become my ex-wife. Oh, my goodness. Why did she pick that day? So, yeah, Valentine's Day sucks. Come on. Texture, is that real? I get, if it's not working out, you probably shouldn't stay in a relationship. But why pick the actual date that you started your relationship to end it? That seems harsh to me. Maybe your ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife is a anti-Valentine's Day person. For the 920, my mom still sends me a cute Valentine in the mail plus a $1 bill. See, that's a nice tradition. All right, I'm going to switch gears after the break. We got lots more show to do. Don't forget the hour, that is the 11 o'clock hour. The final edition of Ask Steve Anything. Oh, my, a lot of finals this week. Ask Steve Anything. So they better be good questions. I put all the pressure on you. I will answer Valentine's Day questions. I will answer sports questions. I will answer political questions, gardening, culture, science, pretty much anything. I'm not going to have the answers for most of it, but we have fun with it. Ask Steve anything. 11 o'clock hour. That's coming up.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:15 for Matzik's Morning Minute during Wisconsin's Morning News. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds. Picked up by Lillard, lobs to Giannis, who thumps it down on the alley-oop. Every Monday and Friday at 8:15 during Wisconsin's Morning News.
Coaching in the arena and your jerseys hanging above you, I can turn to the players and say, guys, I swear to God, I play basketball. Just look up.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature brought to you by the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce your risk. Here to talk about heart and vascular conditions and treatment options is Dr. Stefano Skena, a cardiothoracic surgeon from the nationally recognized Freighter and MCW Heart Team. Thank you so much for being with us, Doctor.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's start with this. What are common risk factors for heart disease?
Risk factors include those that can not be controlled by patient, such as a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, and then factors that can be managed by either through medications or appropriate changing in lifestyle, like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lack of exercise, poor diet, history of smoking, including vaping, and or heavy alcohol consumption, and last but not least, advanced age.
When should someone see a cardiologist? How do they know?
Well, a cardiologist should be seen upon recommendation provided by a primary care physician if you have the risk factors mentioned above, including the strong family history or a suspicion that a heart condition might be ongoing. The cardiologists have a specialty training not only in advising but also in treating diseases of the heart.
Dr. Stefano Skena is with us. What heart conditions does your team treat?
We are fortunate to work in a quaternary center here at Fredericton Medical College of Wisconsin, so we do treat all heart conditions from common to complex, stemming from coronary artery disease, heart valve disease affecting any type of valve, aortic disease, heart failure, and last but not least, the most common arrhythmias such as atrial fibrillation.
Dr. Stefano Skena, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freighter.com/heart.
WTMJ Now.
Not always. Charlie playing around with the love concept on this Valentine's Day. I will agree that this is a hard pivots as far as moving topics. So I saw this headline. I've actually had it on my list for a couple of days. Here's the headline. We all remember Ron DeSantis, right? Florida governor, was a candidate for president for one primary. I think his investment all in was $150 million. Finished second, close second with Nikki Haley. He dropped out. Never got involved in New Hampshire and went the way of a lot of candidates just going back to his regular job. Here's the headline, taken from Yahoo. DeSantis, referring to Governor Ron DeSantis, wants to ban fake meat. The world is watching. From the Tampa Bay Times story, the Florida legislature got an unlikely shout-out early this month. China Weekly, a Chinese language publication, mentioned a Florida bill that would ban the sale and manufacturing of cultivated meats, also sometimes referred to as lab-grown meats. Now, I've got to admit, I'm not familiar with this concept. I like regular meats. Ate a pork chop yesterday, loved it. Big fan of steaks. Had a burger on, what day was that? Saturday? Loved it. Well, apparently this issue is a hot-button topic in Florida, and Republicans in the state are sort of in an awkward position. Ron DeSantis ran on making American food producers more competitive, right? It's kind of his thing, business, competition, free market. But at least through his campaign website, they're saying things like China has tremendous power over our global food supply, which is risky for our domestic food security, and certainly the relationship with China is strained, as most people would acknowledge. But DeSantis is supporting this ban on cultivated meats, which he called, I think in a presser last week, fake meats. Now, if you don't know, food science, new technologies are sort of transforming a traditional market, which is traditionally has been, chickens, cattle, goats have kind of caught fancy, pigs, obviously. And many companies and countries are trying to figure out ways to increase their food supply, but not necessarily have to maintain the stock of animals required to do it in the traditional sense. It's very time intensive to create cultivated meats. So far, there's been a few billion invested in it from like the folks who do that for a living, venture capitalists. So how it works, just so you know what we're talking about. They take cells from animals and grow them inside these bioreactors, these large things. And if the cells are given the right nutrients, they can grow into sort of a, for lack of a better term, a blob of what the original meat product in the animal that took the cells out of would have produced. 2 companies in the United States have already started to work on this application. You can actually buy cultivated chicken in both on opposite ends of the country, Washington, D.C. and San Francisco. There's a company in Alameda, California, which I know very well. Good Meat. They are working towards this. So in Florida, they're saying, no. They're going to actually make it a secondary misdemeanor to sell these products. Governor wants a ban. He's citing safety concerns, the relationship with China, certainly. What do you think? Like, I've never had, as far as I know, I've never had this. And maybe I'm not aware of something of a commonly used application for that maybe I'm just missing, but I don't think I've ever had cultivated meat. And again, sign me up for the camp that likes it the way it's been forever, which is, cattle and pigs and chickens and maybe goat cheese. Fantastic. 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line. What do you think? Cultivated meats. I'm a no. That's a no for me, dog. To quote the, Americans Got Talent or whatever show that was. I don't see the need. Now, there's that other dilemma that people face, right? Like how much weird stuff's in this, right? You're injecting and you're taking things out and you're making it grow in a sort of a bioreactor. How many other weird things are like that will reduce bacteria? They zap with something. It just makes it all the more weird. Doesn't the traditional way to get this make more sense? It does to me. What do you think after this?
Love your car this February with Griffin's Service Department Valentine Special. For just $179.95, your car gets the royal treatment, oil change, tire rotation, air filter, and wiper blade replacement. Complete multi-point inspections. Plus, we'll even check your battery and heating system. Available at all 5 Griffin Service Departments. See Griffin for details and restrictions. At Griffin, show your car some love.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Transform your bathroom like we did. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. Take out that conventional bathtub, put in a walk-in shower. That's what we did at our house. It's beautiful. It's open. It's transformed our bathroom. And right now with Sidex, you get $750 off any bathtub or shower replacement. They serve within 60 miles of Milwaukee. It's Sidex. They did the work at our house. It was quick. It was affordable. It was efficient. And our bathroom is beautiful. Go with the company we trust, Sidex. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercure.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's time to say aloha to paradise. Picture powder soft sand, endless turquoise waters, and a frosty cocktail by a beach lounger. Fox World Travel is proud to partner with Apple Vacations to offer exclusive deals that will take you to your dream getaway. With great deals to Hawaii, Fiji, St. Lucia, or the best all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean, our travel experts take the hassle out of traveling to paradise. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO to speak with our vacation travel experts today.
WTMJ Now.
I saw this story a couple days ago, actually last week, and it is this telling about our country and the politics environment we live in? Waukesha YMCA bans news from shared TVs and wellness facilities. So basically the argument is, people complain, they see, one, there's always the, what station or network do we show? It typically used to be CNN when they were the only one doing it. And then, of course, the rise of MSNBC and Fox and Newsmax and all the other ones. So that was part one of that decision. And then, depending on your political leanings, I wouldn't be, but some people walk into these places, whether it's a wellness center, whether it's a dentist's office, and then be offended by the fact that, that's a station I don't agree with. Oh, my goodness. What are they thinking? Rather than just saying, that's interesting. They have a different viewpoint than I have, which, again, is the lazy, unintellectual way of looking at politics or really anything. So the folks at the Y in Waukesha, the YMCA of Greater Waukesha County, has a ban now. No local or cable news stations from shared televisions in the gyms. Apparently they had extensive conversations about this. Implemented this new policy. This is their comments. Direct quote, "We understand the impact of constant news exposure. To promote a positive environment, TV stations shown on the large wall-mounted TVs will showcase a variety of channels, excluding news channels. You are welcome to watch TV channels of your choice on equipment with a personal viewing screens of your own device with headphones," a flyer posted at the YMCA. The CEO of the YMCA of Greater Waukesha County said the decision was driven by reactions to the presidential debates and things related to politics such as political stance, the economy, and foreign policy. "It became negative," he said. "We want people to come to the Y to relieve stress and work on themselves. We want them to get away from things and create a more positive environment." Two, I don't have a membership at a club anymore. I work out on my own, but is this a common thing now? Or somebody that like Experience Fitness or one of the other places in town, Planet Fitness, you'll have to tell me because I don't know, have they removed this sort of political contents or networks from their TV program options? There used to be a day where you could walk in and request something on a TV. Apparently that's changed. The CEO went on to say, "We are going to silence all that chatter," alluding to the election coming up. The CEO went on to say there were lessons learned from the 2020 election and the midterms in 2022. "We are certainly not the only facility that has either done this or is doing it currently, whether it be restaurants, bars, and other fitness clubs. For us, it was the right move at the right time." Is it? 855-616-1620, the WTMJ talk and text line. I don't like it. Because someone is unserious, unstable, doesn't have the ability to discern a viewpoint different than their own, and they have to complain about it to the owners. Where's your manager? We have to eliminate news from one of the menu options for consumers of TV in clubs or wellness centers or airports. Really? That's how juvenile we are now? Because we're so brainwashed that if someone doesn't agree with us, we have to hate them and we have to pretend that the other side doesn't have an argument or doesn't exist by banning these TVs? How about the point of view that maybe news matters? Now, we could argue certainly about what news has become. I've argued for years that the networks, in particular, local news has done a better job with this, much better job. The networks have allowed this to happen. They've shaped their news with opinion. There's a term that didn't exist, at least in my memory, that exists now, and we have some of this on our Tuesday options with writers who I would say consider themselves journalists, but more specifically, more accurately, are actually advocacy journalists arguing for a particular political ideology. I'm fine with that, but just acknowledge it. 855-616-1620. Would you be mad if they pulled the TV and said, we're not doing this, we're not having politics? Or is this a celebration? Hallelujah, we're not going to have politics to watch in our gym anymore. And if you're a member of one of the big club chains in town or in this country, because we have listeners everywhere now, have you noticed this change? Are they still putting up the CNNs and the Foxes and all those? Be curious. I guess some of it might depend on where you live as well. I was particularly surprised that this is Waukesha County, but anybody who's paid attention to politics know Waukesha County is changing. And I've said this before. In November of this year, I think we're all going to learn how much Waukesha County has changed, my opinion. Former Governor Scott Walker and Reince Priebus might disagree, but I think they're going to be wrong. We'll take a break here. What do you think? Is this a good decision by the Y in Waukesha? Or will you miss this stuff, the politics, the news? Because they're not just talking about the talk shows. They're talking about local news, network news. I mean, it's a big. What if a national event happens? Mass shooting, something serious at a level we've never seen. Terrorists. Would you not, as a business, want to at least give your employees, your customers, the option to see what's going on in our country? I was in a health club in California when the Challenger exploded. Never forget it. Just finished a class, fitness class. Walked out, little TV. Not like the monitors we have now. 26-inch probably. Watched it unfold, mesmerized by the picture on the screen for at least an hour, just sitting there. Couldn't believe it. Challenger exploded. Give me your thoughts. 855-616-1620. You're listening to WTMJ Now.
It's WTMJ Now.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Oh, how great it would feel to have your 20-year-old knees, shoulders, hips, and back.
You know, you don't think about your pains when you're in your 20s or 30s, but you wish you could get that body back when you're in your 60s. I think QC did that for me.
For Patrick, here in Milwaukee, it started with a simple phone call to QC Kinetics.
One day I was driving and I just heard the radio and I pulled over and took the number and I called them when I got home.
Maybe that's you, and you're listening right now. Why wait? QC Kinetics Regenerative Treatments uses your body's own natural biologics to heal and restore damaged tissue without invasive surgery or harmful drugs. And as for the results,
my knees are as good as they were when I was in my 20s. I'm really happy with what happened.
For Patrick, it's like QC Kinetics turned back the clock. Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This year's Milwaukee Polar Plunge is celebrating 25 years of plunging for Special Olympics Wisconsin athletes. Folks in the area will be freezing for a reason on Saturday, February 24th at Foxbrook Park in Brookfield. To register and donate, visit plungewi.org.
Heiser Automotive will help find your perfect vehicle match or give your current vehicle the attention it needs. After all, love is in the details. You'll get spoiled with our sales and service offers and receive our Safe and Sound program with each sale. This includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenient service with our new mobile service van. This means we'll come to you. Get lifetime roadside assistance and more. Your vehicle date awaits. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for senior real estate specialist Bruce and Jean Nemovitz. If you've been holding off on selling your home or downsizing your parents' home, now's the time to contact Bruce and Jean. You deserve to enjoy the lifestyle you've earned. Learn how their team will guide you every step of the way. Join me at their free in-person seminar, March 5th, Berner Botanical Gardens. Doors open at 8:30, and you'll get critical info from local senior community representatives. Register at brucesteam.com, taking you from overwhelmed to I can do this. brucesteam.com.
WTMJ Now.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, for those who celebrate. There's a whole Anti-Valentine's Day. I'm still getting texts on that, by the way. Do what you want to do. Have fun. Be positive. One of the texters, I love this. This is something that gets me. It gets the show, gets the station. How dare you tell me to have an open mind and embrace others' opinions or facts? Where is your manager, Steven? Mike Spalding just walked in here, actually. A great manager, by the way. I've worked with a lot of managers in my life at a lot of different levels and companies. Mike Spalding's a good one. I'm getting some reconnaissance from some of the clubs. Planet Fitness still has Fox News and CNN. Steve, today I'm at the YMCA. Fox News is on, but my Price is Right show is on. Local Channel 58 is not on. Coincidence? Ooh. Conspiracy? Much? Producer Charlie made this question, and so did a couple asked this question, and a couple texters made the same point. Why local news? I think there's still a bastion for, like, pretty solid journalism. You know, they've leaned into the neighborhood approach, right? Positivity, which is not a bad thing, right? I don't get that ban at all. Texture said no issues with local news. From the 262, Steve, most gyms and fitness centers don't allow political cable news shows anymore. ESPN is the channel usually on. Members used to get into arguments, so it was eliminated. Why does that not shock me? Just as the rise of radio squawkers, we saw the rise of people who can't operate in public without making politics their main focus. Innocent comment someone makes, it's a war. Can't have Thanksgiving dinner without tearing up their family because, God forbid, somebody's a Trump supporter or a Biden lover. It's like, really? I don't care. I don't have to agree with it. You can vote for who you want to. Why should I pay? This is from the 262. Why should I pay for a membership for a gym and be forced to watch Fox News or MSNBC? You're not forced to. Usually the TVs are up and not necessarily right in front of you. You actually have to engage with the TV. And here's the other thing. Am I missing something, or do not most people have earbuds, headphones, wireless headphones, where they don't have to consume that if they don't want to? If they want to, they can certainly find it on their phone and adjust accordingly. So the idea is we're just going to ban it now because people can't act like adults? This is a dumb decision. I understand why they're doing it. I love the YMCA. I love their mission statement, and I love their charter. They do the right work and help people. But the more we see these dumbing down of our civil discourse, our public discourse, our inability to communicate rationally, calmly with each other, the worse it gets. I do blame it on muckrakers that are out there. Politicians, not all, some, who play politics and emphasize politics over policy, and party over policy, certainly. I blame the people that do what I do, that stir all this nonsense up. Always mad about everything. Always frustrated. You know, whatever the mission statements are, standing up for, or, you know, I'm on your side with the jets behind them and the American flags. It's all nonsense. American flags are a great thing. But standing in front of an American flag, spewing hate, sort of counters the idea of having the flag behind you, no? Good morning. This is from the 414. It's a free country. You're entitled to be as wrong as you want to be. Yes. You can be a knucklehead. But when I guess my point is, I got to get to another break here. My point is, let's not let the knuckleheads decide all the rules for the rest of us. Because I do know this. Most citizens, most Americans are good, decent people. And they feel like they're being screamed at, shouted at, dumbed down by the knuckleheads on the left and right who can't shut their traps, can't shut their pie holes, and are usually filled with more with hate than anything positive. To those folks, I say shut the hell up. Quick break.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Dr. Ken's mind is fine as aged wine, let me tell you. Hey!
This is The Truth on WTMJ.
So, I'm sensitive.
You're sensitive. I'm sensitive too.
No, you're not.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's hurtful.
With Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
And you also got to tell me why I should serve on jury duty.
And we'll tell you why you should serve on jury duty.
Sunday night starting at 7.
Who knows? if the alderman gets in trouble, you might be able to serve on a federal grand jury.
I will serve my city.
Right here on WTMJ.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderland of vehicles. An entire convention center filled with the things you love to drive. It's the Milwaukee Auto Show at the Baird Center downtown, February 24th through March 3rd. Immerse yourself in the latest new cars, new trucks, SUVs, luxury vehicles, classics, and this year, we even have an indoor electric vehicle ride course. It's a wonderland of vehicles. Everything all in one place, all in a non-selling environment. It's a great place to comparison shop. The Milwaukee Auto Show. Save big on tickets. Go to autoshowmilwaukee.com.
A new year means new goals for Wisconsin hoops teams. The red and white will make a run to the tournament, and Milwaukee is eyeing up a playoff run in the spring. As Wisconsin's 3PL Evans Transportation knows, it takes a team effort to make those runs, and when it comes to manufacturers' accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, Evans is the supply chain team for you. Good luck to all Wisconsin hoops teams from Wisconsin's 3PL. Find them at evanstrans.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlawns.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands. With Social Security, the longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security Decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. WTMJ now.
YMCA and Waukesha getting rid of the controversial, they say, I'm air quoting that. News stations, local stations, I think that's a travesty, in my opinion. Lots of great texts. It's sad. This is from the 608. It's sad. It really is. It's the culture of our nation, sadly. Republicans won't work with the Democrats. Democrats won't work with the Republicans. I'll probably vote Republican again, but I wish I had more options. My New Year's resolution is to pay attention to my local politics more. I feel the local politics affects me more than the national stage. It does. That's the reality. It's not sexy always, but that's the reality in most people's lives. From the 262, I worked at a hotel in Milwaukee that offered continental breakfast. Each morning, we'd have on a local news station for guests. One morning, a guest chewed out the general manager of the hotel for pushing a political agenda based on the local news station that was on. After that date, decision from management was to play on any other channel than news related. Sort of an amazing reality, right? You're so wrapped up in your own political identity, you can't bear to listen to anything else. That's insane. From the 847, I'm a liberal and I'm okay listening to conservative news. I listen to WTMJ daily, but I will not watch Fox News as it stands apart from all others for its conservative propaganda. I would argue MSNBC is pretty much the same thing on the left. I noticed TV is being set to safe entertainment-only channels in more and more public places, and this is surely the direct response to complaints from my very vocal, intolerant people who refuse to see, hear things see and hear things from which they don't agree. It's yet another example of changes by businesses and communities forced in order to remain as neutral as possible in all respects. I get the business part of it, right? But is it making us better, smarter, better informed? The answer is no. And given where we're at right now, given the reality, whether it's Waukesha YMCA or an airport deciding we can't show Fox or CNN anymore because people get mad, does that make us smarter? And I think the answer is no. It has to be. Less information. I mean, I grew up in the era where CNN was on every airport TV every week, every day. Did it brainwash me? No. That's the thing. All right. Couple things happening at 11 o'clock hour. My pal, teammate, newest teammate, Kristen Bry is going to join us. Little get together about her new show. And, of course, the last final edition. It's kind of sad of Ask Steve Anything. We'll entertain your questions. The news, my friends, is next. Happy Valentine's Day.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Sick of being bullied by your bank with surprise fees, getting stuck on hold, and bankers who don't get you? Wintrust takes a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way and expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/bully-free. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Transform your bathroom like we did. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. Take out that conventional bathtub, put in a walk-in shower. That's what we did at our house. It's beautiful. It's open. It's transformed our bathroom. And right now with Sidex, you get $750 off any bathtub or shower replacement. They serve within 60 miles of Milwaukee. It's Sidex. They did the work at our house. It was quick. It was affordable. It was efficient. And our bathroom is beautiful. Go with the company we trust, Sidex. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercure.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good morning. 11 o'clock. We have sunny skies and 40 degrees. Maybe some clouds rolling in later today. High today, 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. A man from Mukwonago faces federal charges after being accused of kidnapping a girl from South Carolina. The 35-year-old man reportedly met the 13-year-old girl online. She'd been missing since Sunday. The two were found Tuesday inside the Mukwonago man's pickup in the Florida Keys. The girl's in protective custody this morning, awaiting a reunion with her family. House Republicans impeached Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in an historic vote, the first cabinet official to be impeached since the 1870s. Mayorkas faced scrutiny from Republicans over his handling of the southern border. Things now head to the Senate, where an acquittal is almost certain. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said Wednesday members of the alliance had stepped up their defense spending. This came days after former president, current Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump said on the campaign trail he would not defend NATO members who'd not met their spending obligations. Stoltenberg says he believes the NATO alliance makes the U.S. stronger.
From the Korean War to Afghanistan, NATO allies have been fighting shoulder by shoulder with U.S. soldiers.
NATO members committed to spending at least 2% of their gross domestic product annually on defense. Tonight in Heartland, community members will have their first chance to voice concerns to the Arrowhead High School board since students were accused of spreading a message on Snapchat with a racial slur as the caption. TMJ4 News' Sydney Orr outside the school this morning with a look ahead.
There are no specific items related to this post on the agenda, but there is a section carved out for public comment. Many are hoping the school will implement more ways to tackle tough topics at young ages so students can better grasp how harmful these things can really be.
I can't believe that any young person truly holds hate within their heart. They are simply replicating the things in their environment, things that they think are cool. So what we have to show them is that there's a different way to be cool.
A community conversation scheduled for 6:30 this evening, just before the regularly scheduled school board meeting. Wichita, Kansas police arrested the man they say stole and destroyed a beloved statue of Jackie Robinson.
Despite Jackie Robinson's legacy as a civil rights pioneer,
the investigation has not revealed any evidence
indicating that this was a hate-motivated crime.
Wichita Police Lieutenant Aaron Moses says 45-year-old Ricky Alderete had profit in mind.
We believe this theft was motivated by the financial gain of scrapping common metal.
Meanwhile, a GoFundMe campaign to replace the bronze sculpture of Jackie Robinson has generated nearly $200,000 in donations. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A project planning a tiny homes community for military veterans gaining traction again. Missouri-based nonprofit Veterans Community Project is advancing a rezoning request for a vacant site near 60th and Green Tree Road in Milwaukee for veterans facing homelessness. Project was first announced in 2019 by Racine-based Veterans Outreach of Wisconsin, but they couldn't advance the project at the time. Plan includes a 40-home campus with homes about 240 square feet each and a few larger ones to support families. Veterans Community Project estimates there are 300 homeless veterans in Milwaukee alone. Love is in the air, but balloons shouldn't be.
We Energy is reminding customers to avoid letting Valentine's Day Mylar balloons get away from you outside. Senior Communications Specialist Amy Johns says since 2020, over 100,000 We Energy's customers have faced power outages caused by the mischievous balloons. Johns says to never release balloons outside and make sure they're tied securely to a weight. We also offers alternatives to balloons for Valentine's Day, such as building an emergency kit together, making a simple meal, or snuggling up safely under the electric blanket.
Oh, baby.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Moviegoers rejoice. The Rosebud Cinema in Wauwatosa reopens this evening after 4 years. The 83-year-old theater has been closed since the onset of the pandemic. Last few years have seen several theaters close around Milwaukee, including the Downer Theater last fall and the Times Cinemas shift away from regular film showings. The Rosebud will begin screening the new Marvel superhero movie Madam Web tonight at 6:30. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed picture on Wall Street. Dow is down 54 points. NASDAQ is up 39. The S&P 500 is up 6. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Don't forget your sweetheart. There's still time to enjoy a great dinner for under $10 at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mine Shaft, locally, family-owned for over 46 years. The all-you-can-eat cod, perch, shrimp, or poor man's lobster dinner is just $9.99. $9.99. And desserts are buy one, get one free. I love the desserts, even on Valentine's Day. So order your favorite steak, pasta, a fresh salad, a cool big burger, all super affordable, and you can sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, an ice-cold brew, or your favorite glass of wine. Now that is a perfect Valentine's Day dinner. Where would you be without your sweetie? Go out for dinner to the Mine Shaft for under $10. It's in beautiful downtown Hartford, lots of seating and close parking, the most affordable Valentine's Day dinner destination in the area. Tables are still open for your Valentine's Day dinner for under $10. It's the Mine Shaft.
I had a really strange experience today.
Strange how?
A man walked into the store who was only about 2.5 feet tall.
What?
And he was carrying a bow and arrows.
Did he sort of have a baby face?
Yes. How did you know?
Sarah, that was Cupid.
Oh!
Did he give us a thumbs up?
Yes, 3 times.
So tell us, what are the Cupid-approved gifts for Valentine's 2024?
He loved our diamond stud earrings starting at $198.
We have 186 different styles and sizes.
And we have more than 1,400 pair in stock.
And Cupid loved our $98 diamond pendant.
It looks like it's worth a lot more.
And every purchase of $298 or more includes a fabulous free travel case to safely transport all of your jewelry.
But mostly, he loved the 4-carat total weight wow diamond engagement ring for less than $4,000.
Welcome to Kessler's for Valentine's Day.
Cupid approved.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update. Giannis just missed a triple-double. The Bucks were blasted by the Heat, 123-97 at Fiserv Forum. Antetokounmpo had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Bucks visit Memphis tomorrow in their final game before the All-Star break. Fourth-ranked Marquette extended its winning streak to 8 in a row, 78-72 victory over Butler in Indianapolis. Marquette visits top-ranked UConn on Saturday. Wisconsin put an end to its 4-game losing streak with a 62-54 win over Ohio State at the Kohl Center. Stephen Crowell posted 16 points, 10 rebounds to lead the 21st ranked Badgers, who improved to 17-8 on the season and 9-5 in Big Ten play. UW visits Iowa on Saturday. Taking a look at your roads now with your Johnson & Son Paving Time Saver traffic. Again, no major delays to report. 94 inbound from Highway 16 to the Zoo, a 10-minute drive. The Zoo to downtown, about 5. 43 south from Round Deer Road to the Marquette Interchange, running about 10. And 94 north from Layton Avenue to the Marquette Interchange, typical 6 minutes this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by the Harley-Davidson Museum. Don't miss the Mama Tried Motorcycle Show and the HD Factory Outlet Sale in Rumble on the Harley-Davidson Museum's campus from February 22nd through the 25th.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today with some clouds rolling in later today and a high of 45. There's a rain-snow mix expected past midnight tonight with a low 34. That wet weather will continue into tomorrow with a high of 38. Mostly cloudy, some flurries on Friday, 31. Partly cloudy, breezy, chilly Saturday, 32 for the high. Then Sunday, a little bit warmer, mostly sunny with a high 39. Madison at 37, Green Bay at 35, Milwaukee at 40 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time. 11:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue, it's WTMJ Now. News, opinions, Wisconsin. Everything you need to know in the Badger State and beyond. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
At least for a couple more days. After today, 2 more days of WTMJ Now, then the Political Power Hour, which I'm very excited about. I got some great guests already lined up. Speaking of great guests, joining, I have not worked with her on the radio for, I think you had me on your show, the great guest, my newest teammate, Kristen Bry. Hi, Kristen Bry.
Hi, Steve.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, it's great to see you. It's great to have you as a teammate.
I know. I'm so happy to be back
Tell the
working
story.
with you.
Tell the story, Kristen.
So the story. So my radio career started with you back in fall of 2020.
I wouldn't have remembered that. Was that long ago?
It was that long ago, the first time I was ever on your show. So if people, longtime listeners might remember, I used to spend Wednesdays an hour, first 30 minutes, then an hour on Wednesdays with you.
I had to try you out first.
It out.
Make sure you could do it.
And then I got to do an hour with Eric and Vince for a couple months, right when Vince was first starting in the beginning of 2022.
And because they're difficult to work with, you did something else after that.
Yes, I was like, get me out of here with these two.
Knuckleheads.
But no, in reality, what happens, I got the opportunity to start my own show.
I know.
And so I started a show called As Goes Wisconsin.
Which is your brand.
Which is the brand that I created back almost 4 years ago. And I did that for about a year and a half. And then at some point last year, in 2023, I got some people asking if I might be interested in coming back to WTMJ.
Hey, do you think maybe? And the maybe came to fruition.
The maybe did come to fruition, and I'm very excited to be back.
I know that this is heartfelt because I was at your wedding reception, and your dad came up to me. Your dad is awesome, former Badgers basketball player. And he said, "Oh my God, thank you for giving her a chance." He was so excited about the fact that you were on radio then at a different group, and then now here with us. So I imagine I'll hear from the Bry's, your parents, at some point saying, "Oh my God, this has really worked out well."
This has really worked out well. This whole moving back to Wisconsin thing has really, really worked out well.
You're married now. You have a lovely child.
I know. And I've lived a lot of life since coming back. I bought a house, I got married, I had a baby, and now I have a radio show.
Have you bought a new car yet?
No.
May I suggest Heiser Automotive? That's a shameless plug for one of my partners. All right, so for the folks who don't know, we've had a lot of publicity going out. Your new show starts Monday at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
And it's called?
Spanning the State.
What does that mean?
It's literally what we're going to do. We're going to span the state. And so what I'm excited about is I think everything I've done since moving back when it comes to content is a combination of humor, fun, information, and all things Wisconsin. And I think that's exactly why they wanted me to do this show. Because, well, a lot of our shows have a lot of focus on Southeast Wisconsin, national issues. It's a big state. It's 72 counties, and trying to find the stories that are happening in Rhinelander, in La Crosse, in Eau Claire, in Wausau, because our reach now is at the TMJ is not just the radio signal, right? Like we have podcasts. You know that more than anyone as far as what we can reach with podcasts, what we can reach with streaming. As I joked last night in my announcement video, you can always just go, Alexa, play WTMJ.
Yes.
And I just made people's Alexas go off.
Yeah. What happened?
And so being able to capitalize on being Wisconsin's radio station also means telling more stories. And so that's going to be getting reporters from all over the state on to talk about the stories that they're covering. It's going to be talking to newsmakers in their communities. It's going to be talking to experts who can kind of break down some of the bigger public policy things that affect the whole state, while also trying to always bring my humor, bring my fun to it so it's not so heavy.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that caught me when I started to follow you on social media, as goes Wisconsin, is you had a sense of humor, often about sometimes serious things. And the ability to be snarky and to be funny, even in the midst of chaos and political uncertainty and, frankly, it's sometimes absolute stupidity.
Your words.
Yeah, my words. Was enlightening to me. And I said, this is someone that should need to have a voice. And now you're going to be part of our stable of our line, a great lineup, our new lineup, along with Jessica joining, and then Julia with John McCure in the afternoon. I'm excited about that. So the cool part for me, though, is as part of your beginning, you're going to have some of the folks that people are used to hearing or have heard on your shows, and we're going to do it on Tuesdays.
We're doing the first Tuesday, and then I think we're switching to Mondays.
Yes.
And so we will be back together again, which I'm very excited about. So you'll be with me on Tuesday the 20th, and then back again the following Monday, and then recurring on Mondays for us to. I think it'll be a good exercise. I mean, you're doing a lot, though. You're doing your political power hour. You got 2 different podcasts. But anything else you still have in your system, you can bring to Mondays with me.
Yes, which I'm looking forward to because again, I love change and I love to bust up the status quo, and that's just another outlet for me. Because let's be honest, I have 3 hours now. I'm going to 1 hour of the show, and then trust me, the podcast thing takes up a lot of time. I'll be talking with Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson right after the show today, and then I've got a bunch of other interviews tomorrow after the show. So it's sort of a new dynamic. What are you most excited about with this new show?
I'm most excited about highlighting stories that I think deserve more attention and issues that affect a lot of people and understanding, even as of yesterday, I just saw that the legislature has passed the bill that the top 5% of every high school has to be admitted into UW systems. That's a huge deal. That's a big change. And yet that's not on the cover of a lot of, and I don't know why the governor wouldn't sign that. That feels like something that could pass. It passed by the bipartisan votes. It feels like it's a good thing. It actually feels like something that would get even more kids in the door, especially as we have declining rates of kids going to college. And so this feels like something that should be celebrated, but also understood of what the impact of it could be.
It is a good thing.
So getting to really dig into stories like that is what I'm most excited about.
What do you find the most interesting thing about me is?
Oh.
I'm just teasing. Don't answer.
Is it bad that I paused so long?
Yes, it is very bad. So please don't pause like that ever again when we're together on the air. No, I'm excited about just the fact that we get to hang out.
Me too.
Yeah, I will expect you to do most of the work.
That's fine.
But I'm a cooperative teammate.
You're a cooperative teammate. But I would say one of the things I appreciate so much, to be a little sappy right now, is when you leave a work environment, you kind of realize, we were just work friends. We did not necessarily stay in touch after we stopped working together. But you are my genuine, actual friend, and we stayed in contact. We got together. We had dinner. Your wife was very excited when my husband paid for dinner that night that we went.
So was I. I appreciate that.
And so I am very excited to be back as your teammate and also to be able to spend for however long it takes for us to find a permanent co-host. I'm kind of like Regis looking for his Kelly.
Who's your Kelly going to be?
I don't know.
You should just put it out right now. If someone has an interest in radio, maybe they've done a little radio, has a desire to tell the stories of Wisconsin, here's an open mic.
Open invitation. The job posting is on the website as far as we are. So we are launching the show.
I love that.
We are launching the show with me as the permanent co-host. We're going to have rotating co-host. Eric Bilstad's going to be with us. Mike Spalding's going to make some appearances. Jeff, I'm sure we'll get Jeff Shorman on. But then also outside voices. I'm sure Zepecki, our mutual friend, will be here.
He's a bit of a media whore, that Zepecki.
Yeah, I know. He's good at it, though.
But he is very good at it. As a matter of fact, I might have him fill in for me when I'm on my next vacation.
Perfect. But we are looking for someone to permanently be on the show with me. And so as that search continues, we have a long roster of folks who can Come play with me.
All right, so next Monday, 1 o'clock, first you and Spalding, then me and you on Tuesday. Who's Wednesday?
Eric Bilstead is
Wow.
Wednesday. Dan Schaefer is Thursday.
Wow.
And then Friday is my good friend Corey Jo Biddle, who works at the MMAC. And we're going to talk about, what I'm excited about that is, so she works in talent acquisition, regional talent. And so what does that look like? I know Tim Sheehy's on this station a lot, but looking really at what her job is and the kind of programming and events that they do for talent in Southeast Wisconsin, and kind of making that a theme of the day of what is workforce. It's the year of the worker, right? According to Governor Evers. And so what does that actually look like both in Milwaukee and Southeast Wisconsin, but also in other parts of the state?
Let me be serious for a second. A few years ago, I wrote a piece. I don't remember even who I wrote it for, but I said one of the things that's missing in talk radio in this market, and frankly, this state, is women.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. And it's important. I raised two wonderful daughters who are now wonderful moms, and there's been a dearth of strong female voices on AM radio in this state. And that's changing. Civic media is part of that, obviously. And we are doing with some new teammates that are sort of bringing a new perspective. And one of the things I was tasked with when I came to WTMJ is we need more women listening. Mm-hmm. And we did that on my show. And I'm confident that with the new lineup of new co-hosts, whether it's Jessica or yourself or Julia, that piece of the market, which has been frankly ignored for so long, we'll say, that's something different. Maybe we don't need a bunch of old white men, being an old white man saying this, taking up all of our radio dial.
Well, and what I'm excited about is it's not so much there's certain personal experience. I'm obviously going to talk about being a new mom, and that's going to impact the kind of stories I want to talk about and the people that I potentially get on to interview about it. But it's also just a diversity of stories that interest us, stories we find are important, and how that differs from some of the guys who've been on the stations for a long time. And I was just talking to John McCure about one of the stories I want to do about specifically, we'll tease this a little bit. So last week, Senator Baldwin introduced legislation to tax out-of-state investors who are buying up single-family homes.
Right.
McCure had no idea that was a thing. And so we're going to talk about that, about how much is that actually exacerbating the problem of first-time home buyers? Should that really be the priority, or is there something else that's getting in the way of people being able to afford to buy their first home?
Monday, 1 o'clock, new teammate Kristen Bry, spanning the states. It's a great idea, and I love the fact that we're going to celebrate the fact that we are the biggest stick in the state. I can't wait to work with you again. Tuesday, I'll be on, but you and Mike will kick it off Monday at 1. Thanks for being part of our new team.
Thanks for having me on, Steve.
Absolutely. After the break, Ask Steve Anything. The rest of this hour, the final edition of Ask Steve Anything, by the way. So I see Don's already fired off a question. Lots of folks on the text line. Anything's fair game. Politics, sports, culture, entertainment, gambling, whatever you'd like to talk about. This is the time to do it. 855-616-1620. WTMJ.
More of WTMJ now after this. If you missed this...
Were you surprised that there wasn't a mechanism in place where these garages were regularly inspected?
We assumed that these things are getting checked out regularly, but parking structures are not subject to inspections unless there's a complaint or incident.
Or this.
You were giving a Black History Month speech earlier today. What is your goal when you're giving those speeches?
It's telling stories about how persistence and hard work and diligence over unbelievable odds, you can still succeed.
Check out Wisconsin's Afternoon News, the podcast.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I had snoring issues, tossing and turning. I still snore occasionally, usually after I'm drinking, but I had to do something about it because my poor wife, Kathy, had to deal with all of this stuff. And maybe that's your Valentine's Day present to your spouse, partner, whatever. Why should they suffer if you're snoring or tossing and turning, having restless nights of sleep? I went to Advent, 30-minute visit. Put me at ease, asked the right questions. We did a really simple sleep study at my home in my own bed. They determined my problem, sinuses, nasal passages. After a short procedure done in office, I breathed better than ever, taking in way more oxygen than I need, but it makes you feel better, makes you sleep better. We're sleeping through the whole night. If you struggle like we did, take the time to see how Advent can help you. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well, more importantly, can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com and schedule an appointment today, because Advent knows, you know this. When you breathe well, you live better.
Opening day, and all 2024 Brewers games go on sale Thursday, February 15th. That's tickets to any game you want, any way you want, all season. featuring new giveaways, new theme and community nights, can't miss ticket deals, and all the season's best Brewers action. Make sure you're here for every moment. Check out the complete schedule now and grab your Brewers ticket starting on Thursday, February 15th.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Stormfisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
WTMJ Now.
Yes, indeed, the final edition of Ask Steve Anything. And I'm gonna get to these questions first because these are all sort of related to that story. Will you be coming into the station for 1 hour every day? The answer is yes. I get here at 6. That probably won't change much. I'm an early riser. Thank you, Advent. So that's not going to change. I'm going to give you the most laser-focused, honest, not a diatribe from an old white guy, but a balanced conversation, civil conversation, expert-fueled conversation that you don't get anywhere else in this market. Sorry if that hurts feelings, but that's the reality. We're going to have justices, Supreme Court, local, legal scholars from all over the place, local attorneys. We have, obviously, the strategists, Friday, Bill and Joe. They're not going anywhere. That is, and I've said it over and over again, and other people have said this to me and them, it's the best hour of political conversation on the radio in Wisconsin, and I'll stand by that. So imagine that times 5. Monday's show, journalist. Tuesday, people that write about politics from the local level to the national level. Dan Schaefer on the left, James Wigerson on the right, Christian Snyder, conservative writer for National Review Online, and we're going to add a whole bunch of more people to the mix. Public safety with Annie Schwartz, that'll restart next Wednesday. You might say, how is public safety political? Have you followed these stories? It's all political, whether it's police chiefs, reckless driving, local leaders, policy decisions driven by the legislature, it's all political. So it's a laser-focused 1 hour, on point, on topic, which frankly you're not getting anywhere else. And if that's patting myself on the back, well, so be it. But I love the fact that the Friday show was so popular that people at the highest level of GKB said, you know what, let's name the whole run that name. That's why that happened. And part of this is on me. We got to make those other days as powerful and as strong and as good as Fridays is. And that's a testament to the wisdom and the communication skills of Joseph Pecky and Bill McCoshen. They are two of the best in the state at analyzing politics. Lots of experience from the White House to the State House. That's why it works. Somebody asked me also on the text line, does that mean you won't take calls or texts? Probably I will refer to text. I'm probably not going to take calls. I got an hour. As I said, laser focused. But here's the deal with me. And maybe this is something I do that other people do. I don't know. You can always find me. Steve.Scaffidi, 2Fs1D at WTMJ.com. That's not going to change. And oh, by the way, if we're talking about content, yes, 1 is less than 3. But I also produce, along with my great producer, Charlie, 3 podcasts a week. 2 on the Decision Wisconsin side, which are more political focused, and then 1 that's just me talking to somebody that intrigues me. Today we're doing our Fridays podcast. We're interviewing him today, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson. We'll talk some politics, but some other stuff too. What's it like to be a young mayor in a growing city? I have an interview. They interviewed me for World Radio Day last week, which I think was yesterday. One of my BBC friends, British Broadcasting Company, who has talked to me before about politics in our country. I'm going to interview him for the Scaffidi podcast because he's an interesting guy. Ben Prater, if you want to look him up, Prater. So that's a podcast designed to entertain and inform. And I just put together a list for my bosses of who's coming up, and the lineup is pretty impressive. Network correspondents, Manu Raju is the one we published today. He's chief congressional correspondent for CNN. Has a Wisconsin connection. A great 20-minute sort of tour de force of American politics with a sort of Midwest flavor. And I'll leave it at that. You can find it at WTMJ.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Scaffidi is the name. And basically name plus ology. I've got a lot of text questions. I got a couple phone calls. We'll start the process, the Ask Steve Anything process, in earnest after this.
More of WTMJ Now after this. What you need to know on your drive home. Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John McCure.
What's going to happen the next couple of months, Joe, if there's no snow up there?
This winter certainly is going to have some casualties in the business world, and it'll just make the summer even less appealing.
And Greg Matzik.
Some of the vendors here at the market hall will also have a footprint at American Family Field. How did that come about?
If you take a look at some of the other ballparks around the country, they bring in more of the authentic operators and just give it a different twist to a ballpark.
3 to 6 p.m. here on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic. Been seeing Dr. Alex and his team since the summer. Talking with a fellow patient, she came to Connect Chiropractic years ago, debilitating migraines. Couldn't go to work or school. Now her headaches are gone. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. The chiropractors use a special tool for all your adjustments. Just a few clicks every visit to restore proper nerve and muscle function. Chiropractic care can help boost your immune system. Find out how at a free workshop this February. Check the website for information. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
It's WTMJ Now.
Ask Steve Anything is the game we're playing this hour. Not a game, a segment. Last one ever. Well, I shouldn't say ever's a long time. Let's just say last one for a while. Don on the phones from the West Side. Hi, Don.
Hi, Steve. First of all, I'm going to miss Wednesdays with Ask Steve Anything. I really enjoyed it. So, anyway, my question is, well, sort of two parts. Has a single Republican, other than maybe Nikki Haley, called Trump out for basically tell him, Putin, you can attack any NATO nation, it's okay with him. If in his opinion, they haven't paid enough for their defense. And the same token, he's basically been blocking aid to Ukraine every chance he gets because he'll never forgive Zelensky for not coming up with fake dirt during the election.
Right.
But I don't know, a single Republican has actually called him out on this.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Don. I appreciate the kind words. Well, Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, Paul Ryan, Chris Sununu to a degree, myself. Could there be more? A hell of a lot more? Absolutely. And I think as we go forward, just a feeling, you may see more of that. And I think it's important for Republicans, at least some of us, understand. And look, I've said this over and over again. If you're a Trump lover and you want to vote for Donald Trump, do what you got to do. It's your vote, it's your choice. It's the country we live in. Whether I like it or not, or somebody either of Democratic persuasion or Republican, doesn't like the fact that people like Trump, what are you going to do about it? Put up a better candidate. Now, I'm angered that we don't have a better process for the selection because basically the former president, President 45, is trying to shut down the process before it's even played out. And it drives me nuts that we have primaries which mean nothing. What's the point? Now, some of my Republican strategist friends say, well, it's the party picks the nominee. I guess. But then let's do away with the system we have. We are in love with tradition in this country and habits, even when they're bad habits. Maybe we change that. Terry from Pewaukee joins us. Ask Steve anything. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Steve. My question is about Jeff Wagner. Have you heard anything from Jeff Wagner at all?
Thanks for the call, Terry, and thanks for listening. Yes, Jeff is doing fine. At least I can tell by his posts. The funny thing about Jeff, and you can find him at, I think it's Jeff on the radio. I'll look it up while I'm talking. He's still very interested in politics, and he's somebody obviously who has the intelligence and the communication skills to kind of have a good sense of where the country's at. And he still talks about politics to a big degree. It's Jeff Wagner Radio if you want to follow him on social media. I'm actually going to invite him on for one of my podcasts because I think he has a lot to say, certainly as we get closer to the election. And, you know, Jeff's fun, first and foremost, and I know he's having fun. He's golfing with his lovely wife, Fran, in Florida, living the life. I'm sure he's going to come back up here for the summers because he loved the festivals. But from what I can tell, and my good friend Gene Miller said that they got together, they're having great retirements. So that's probably the best anybody that's retired could hope for. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to take another quick break because I want to stay on my schedule here. Charlie's been very taskmaster-ish with that, but he's doing a good job as always. And I got lots of questions, text and phone. We'll continue the conversation. Ask Steve anything next.
It's WTMJ Now.
Disability Rights Wisconsin's Medicare Part D helpline is here to help disabled or elderly Medicare beneficiaries with questions about their Part D prescription benefit. The Part D helpline may be able to help you save money on your Part D premium, deductible, and copays. Medicare annual open enrollment period runs October 15th through December 7th. For free, unbiased assistance, please call the Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D helpline any time of the year at 1-800-926-4862. 1-800-926-4862.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
WTMJ Now.
Little something we call Ask Steve Anything. Texter had a great question. I'm not sure how to answer this. Tell us something about you that the audience wouldn't know. And I guess I've talked about myself enough that I think most of the audience, they know more about me sometimes than I do. I was born in England. My dad was in the U.S. Air Force. Proud veteran. I'm proud of him. And my mother was Scottish first, born in Scotland, and then lived in England. And they met on a blind date. That's a pretty cool story. Let's see. Something else they wouldn't. I lived in California for a couple of years. Lived in Florida for a year or so, year plus, and used to go back for work extensively. Lived in Bel Air Beach, Florida. How about that for a very unique place? Look it up on your old map program on your phone. It's just south of Clearwater Beach. Beautiful. And the cool thing about that was I wasn't going to buy a house or anything or get an apartment because I was only there for a short amount of time. So I actually went to a realtor and said, I need a place on the water that I can just stay. It's furnished. I just want to live there because I travel a lot. And they found me this condo on the water in Bel Air Beach where my balcony was over the water. Tennis court, hot tub. I mean, how cool can it get? I'll try to think of something else. I wrote a book, 6 Minutes in August. You can find it on Amazon. Telling the story of what happened in Oak Creek on August 5th, 2012. It's kind of a story told through the eyes of the people that experienced what that felt like, some of the people that responded. Police Chief John Edwards plays a role, and obviously Police Officer Sam Lenda and the incredibly heroic story of Bryant Murphy, who was shot more than a dozen times and survived that, and is one of the coolest human beings I've ever met, and goes around and talks about all of that. So 6 Minutes in August, all the proceeds of that book go to a fund at the Greater Milwaukee Foundation called Oak Creek Cares, which right now we're just in the fund growing stage. I think we're somewhere around $40,000. We've had corporate donations from places like Eater Flag and Oak Creek and others. A lot of individual small donations. The idea is to grow it to $100,000 and start spending that money in ways that make communities better and less violent. So that's something I'm really proud of. All my speaking fees that I make go to that fund as well. So kind of a fun thing. Let's take a call. Steve from Oak Creek. Hi, Steve.
Good morning, Steve. This is the other Steve from Oak Creek. My question is, do you think it would help Nikki Haley if she were to release a list of potential running mates, which I hope would include Paul Ryan?
That's the first time that anyone's posed that. Thanks for the call, Steve, by the way. That's a great question. Now, Paul Ryan was a vice presidential candidate before under Mitt Romney. That didn't work out. So I guess it would have to happen fairly quickly, and typically that's not what happens in a primary phase of an election for president. I mean, she could allude to it, certainly, and I think that someone like Paul Ryan, who I have the utmost respect for. Here's the difference between me and most other Republicans. I respect the people that came before us, the Ronald Reagans, the Paul Ryans, the George Wills, the Charlie Sykes. Again, good, decent, honest people with brains behind their mouth, right? The things they say, their communication skills. And unfortunately, this is sort of will lead to my next phone call question, is what we've gotten away from. It's all about bullying now and shouting down and demeaning and owning the other side. I understand it's popular. I never, ever, ever argue that point. It's popular. I get it. I don't like it. And that's the difference. And I think a growing number of Americans, men and women, are saying, is this what we're going to do this, huh? We're going to actually have this kind of politics going forward. And it's gotten so bad, I'm going to jump to Richard here in a second, where now literally elected officials, congresspeople, senators, say something a week ago, and then the following week they have the exact opposite opinion. Why is that? Because of politics. And I think Americans are saying, some are saying, this is just stupid. Do you not understand? We heard what you said before. Do you not understand that your words, your voice was recorded and we can play it back? And I don't know if I'm going to do it before the end of the week. I would like to, but it's a lot of work. I could put together about a 10-minute clip of nearly every one of our elected representatives in this state saying the direct opposite, both sides of the issue, any issue. Do they think we're stupid? Maybe. Richard from Illinois, next up. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Steve. If I could start first, I'm going to miss your 3-hour show, but that's not the question. The question is, how in the hell is Trump considered the leader of the Republican Party when he is neither A, an elected official, B, a politician, or C, in my mind, even a Republican? And if I could add one quick other point real fast, I think it's kind of ironic that Trump has such anger and hatred with the issue of NATO nations not paying their fair share. when he's the king of not paying his fair share. I believe he filed bankruptcy 6 times.
That's a great point.
Which means he didn't pay.
Yeah, thanks for the great
Steve.
comments.
Steve, I want to thank you for your middle of the roadness and fairness.
I take that as a compliment, and I appreciate the loyal listening there. Look, the Trump thing is, I make it as simple as this. He exists and thrives to some degree because enough Americans said, I like that. Now, it's sort of I think Charlie Sykes said this first years ago. It's this, the government is failing us. Let's find somebody that's unlike any other elected official. Let's find somebody who's going to, in his words, drain the swamp. Now, Charlie and others since correctly predicted that this is a sort of lose your mind mentality that makes people, followers, unable to actually understand the facts of an issue, disregard any other thought that doesn't agree with what Donald Trump says. To the point, here's a great example, and I got to get the break here, but it's a great example. For a long time, Republicans said, border. We need legislation. And now they say we don't need legislation. The president can do it. That's true to some small degree. But I looked at H.R. 2 from the House, and I looked at the bill proposed in the Senate. There's like hundreds of pieces to this. The president doesn't have that kind of power, and the president doesn't deserve that kind of power. That's why we have elected representative in Congress. It's not that difficult. But the simple answer, Richard, is because enough Americans like it. And until that changes, that gives me reason to worry. Ask Steve anything. More questions after the break.
More of WTMJ now after this.
Opening day, and all 2024 Brewers games go on sale Thursday, February 15th. That's tickets to any game you want, any way you want, all season. Featuring new giveaways, new theme and community nights, can't miss ticket deals, and all the season's best Brewers action. Make sure you're here for every moment. Check out the complete schedule now and grab your Brewers tickets starting on Thursday, February 15th.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your home, don't put up with that. Not one more winter. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Super spacer technology. What is that? It helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, which is important, and makes the windows, get this, last up to 5 times longer than any other window system. So your windows from Universal perform better and last longer. For the last windows you will ever need, I'm going to say it twice. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com. universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Here at Richlands, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center, and well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Discover wants everyone to feel special with 24/7 customer service as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you.
our family caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
WTMJ Now.
Great questions today. A lot of great comments, too. Thanks for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not retiring. Did someone say I was retiring? I'm not retiring. I'm actually working more, just less on the air. This podcast thing is time-consuming, trust me. Wagner on the podcast was a very popular suggestion, by the way. Everybody's curious about Wagner. He's golfing, and as far as I can tell, he's hanging out in some pretty cool restaurants and establishments, which does not surprise me about Wagner. Fran's going to keep him busy. That was the point of all of that. God, why begrudge somebody? I know you want Wagner. We all love Jeff Wagner. My goodness. I'm going to take a text question, then a phone call. Now that you would be learning how to manage your own greenhouse, yeah, I'm in the construction phase right now. Might you consider getting into growing things year-round indoors, either a business or for charitable distribution to people in need of fresh, healthy crops? I already do that now. I give away a lot of stuff. I had a massive garden before, and we always did that, and we share that with our friends and family. Business-wise, I just had this idea the other day. Share your thoughts. I haven't told my wife this yet, but my idea is I've been very lucky in life. I've had some great jobs and more than adequately compensated for all the things I've done. My idea is this. I'm handy at a lot of things. I want to help people who need help for one day. So whether it's hey, I need my landscape kind of cleaned up. I need, something done. I go and do it for free. A couple hours a day, not every day. You need something built, something simple, I can do that for you. Just fun stuff for people that need some help. Elderly, probably, certainly, because they often have tight budgets and they can't afford things. So I'm willing to do that and share some of my skills that I've learned. People have taught me over the year. My late father-in-law, Ken, my dad, they've taught me to be responsible and civic-minded, and I'd love to do that. So maybe something like that. We'll see what my wife, Kathy, has to say about it, because I know she's got plans. All right. I think we have one more break to take. Is that correct, Charlie? Yes, right? Let me take one question on the phone. Eric from Elkhorn. Hi, Eric. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. My question is, the Republican Party is convinced that there was such massive voter fraud in the last election. What have they been doing in the last 3 years to guarantee that we don't have these same issues? Because as an American citizen, if there is voter fraud, I'd sure like if we found out and have some kind of guarantees that it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, good question, Eric. Look, they've taken a lot of their challenges to court. Some they won in the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Some have not gone well. I guess the argument they've made is that there were things that were done in the pandemic era, those elections, that time period, that skirted the rules, acceptable policies for the administration of elections. And I don't disagree with that statement. But one of the powers I think that we have to allow states, when there is an issue as paramount as a pandemic or even a natural disaster, we have to weigh that. And the accommodation that most people get upset about was the absentee voting. There are some Republicans, not all, that want to make it. They would like to make the world where you have one day where you vote, you go in and do it in person, and that's it. That's not how Americans or even Wisconsinites want to vote anymore. They want to early vote. They want to vote when they want to. They want to vote by mail. There are two states in the country that's all they do is vote by mail, almost exclusively, and it works just fine. The arguments that was made, shenanigans, election stolen, election was rigged, is a political argument. It's not fact-based. My good conservative friends at the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, Rick Essenberg, they did an extensive review of all of that and said at the end, same results. Were there imperfections? Yes, there always are. That's how elections are. They're not perfect. No one is perfect. Human error. It doesn't mean that you can't strive to be better. But I always close this conversation about elections with this one statement. City clerks, county clerks, village clerks, clerks in general who administer our elections are some of the most honest, hardworking, attention to detail folks we have in this state. I am not kidding. And the sad thing about all of the post-election hijinks, the real shenanigans, the abuse that some of these people took from people who couldn't get over the fact that their guy lost, and there's scary overtones that may happen again in this year's election, is that the real shenanigans were by the folks who were claiming there were shenanigans during the administration of the election. And some of these folks still haven't got it. One final break. Ask Steve Anything next.
More of WTMJ Now after this. Your weekly Bucks breakdown is back.
Jay Crowder's return is imminent.
Bucks Weekly on WTMJ.
You're reaching the point in the season where you do give your veteran the first crack at everything.
And a new year brings new faces.
I'm going to stay ready, and when my opportunities come, I'm going to try my best to keep knocking them down.
Get the latest news, analysis, and insight on your Milwaukee Bucks all season long. Bucks Weekly with Justin Garcia every Monday night at 8 on WTMJ. And catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Our mission is to